YouTube, welcome back. So part 2 of me making a stone circle, and perhaps the big change is this big white smear in the middle of the board. This is just that I've built it up a little, not much, but a little, just to put some cork in the middle just to keep the weight down, and then just smeared some polyfiller all over that just to sort of blend it in a little. It's not the smoothest in the world, but I'm going to sort of texture this anyway, so it doesn't matter massively. Next job, put the stones in at long last. And at last, the stones are in. So I've propped these in with some 2-part epoxy putty, which I'm leaving overnight. And then I've done one here. I'm going to sort of pack them all around with Milliput, which is a bit heavier than polyfiller, but it's a bit stronger, so I'm going to stick with that. So just to pack them in just to give a bit of strength. That one I've already done because it kept falling over. That one I've done a little bit of because I had some Milliput left over from something else I was doing. So the rest of them I'll do. So all the actual rocks have gone into these indentations, and then the resin rocks, the fake rocks, these. So that one, and then this cluster of them here. The larger ones I've pinned, the other two I'm just going to trust, and I'll just pack those in with a bit of Milliput as well. But the stone circle actually contains some stones now. It's no longer just a circle. It's taking shape. Okay, so overnight the 2-part epoxy resin glue has dried, and I've just sort of packed in a load of Milliput around everything. So quite a lot around the rocks because they're quite heavy, and the contact points are brilliant, to be quite honest. A bit less around these, just a bit of extra protection. Again, these are pinned, but don't want stuff getting knocked, so just having it packed in, it's just a bit of extra protection. I haven't quite finished this now. This isn't terribly smooth, but it doesn't matter. It's going to get sort of blended in a bit more with polyfiller. I'm using polyfiller as much as I can because it's cheaper than Milliput. I've probably spent about £1 on Milliput, which isn't a lot, but it soon adds up with a large piece like this. Polyfiller on the other hand is dirt cheap. It's £3 for a massive tub down the road, so much better for me to be using that. I'm going to let this dry for a very long time and then blend it in a bit further, give it all a final sand, and then I can get some sand on it, some paint on it, and you can see the final thing. Okay, here he is then with some polyfiller just to get the rest of it blended in. This isn't completely smooth because I don't really care, because anything that looks daft I can just disguise with a rock. These sort of sharp bits here which flaked off, not worrying too much about it. It's not fully dried yet because last night was cold, which is nice because it means I get to scrape this crap off here. But next time you see it, there'll be sand on. Okay, and here we go. I've got some sand on there, some bits of rock on there. The darker areas are railway ballast. It's just something to try and vary the texture up a little. It may be a waste of time, it may look amazing, don't know. But that's going to get some paint on it, and there's a few patches missing, just where the glue had dried before I got the sand onto it. It doesn't really matter because half of it's going to get covered in static grass anyway. Anything that looks crap after the paint's gone on, put some clump foliage on there, put some static grass on, it'll cover a multitude of sins. I think this is probably a good place to sort of call it for episode 2. Apart from this, I just wanted to say a quick thanks to Mel, the terrain tutor. I'm not sure I'm using any of his actual recipes here, but it's much more an accumulated period of watching his channel, getting inspired, getting a few ideas and everything. So I find it extremely unlikely, if you're watching this, you know who Mel, the terrain tutor is, but just out of courtesy, there's a link below, just in case you've come here random, you haven't seen his channel. Definitely check him out. Mel's a top bloke and his ideas are brilliant. As I say, I've never made a piece of terrain this ambitious before. I probably wouldn't have done, but for watching it. Thanks, Mel. I'll speak to you soon, not least with episode 3. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.